Hey everyone, how's it going? So the next thing we need to do is add the ability to follow people. So we got this following and followers count right here, but at the moment, of course, we've just stuck the value 0 in there because we haven't implemented this yet. So let's go ahead and do this. We want to, of course, have the end goal of when you press this button, it will follow the user, and then, of course, if you're already following them, you press it again, it will unfollow. So just before we do that, though, I want to fix something real quick. You can notice how the page scrolls off a little bit. So it's probably hard to tell, but there's a little bit of space on the right. The page kind of extends a little bit too far past the width of the container. And the reason for that is Bootstrap have added this margin left and right there to the row element. You'll see this actually is wider than the page. So if I uncheck these two margin styles, you'll see that now that the width is correct, it doesn't overflow past the side of the screen. So we're just going to fix that. It's real simple. Let's just go back to our CSS file. And right at the top, where am I putting this? We'll put it, I don't know, let's put it under the nav stuff. Yeah, let's just put it right here. So under the nav stuff, it doesn't really matter where you go. We're just going to say dot wrapper, and then we'll do this angle bracket, and then dot row. Now I'll explain this in just a second, but all we're going to do is say margin 0. So why have we done it like this? Well, this, if we did it like that with just dot row, it would work all the same as what we're going to do. But by saying wrapper and then this greater than symbol with dot row, we're saying only apply this style to the first instance of the row element you find inside of the wrapper. Now the reason we're doing this is because you may want to reuse this row style elsewhere in your project, in other places on the page, and we wouldn't want this style to be applied there because maybe you would want the margin in those cases. So by doing this, it just basically makes sure that it only applies this to the very first instance of row that it finds in the wrapper element. Okay, that's it. But like I said, if we were to do this, it would work all the same, but we just don't want to do that in case we come back and use this row style later on. Anyway, give that a save. Refresh the page. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. We should see, yeah, so the width is all good now. Great. Okay, so anyway, back to this followers and following stuff. The first thing we need to do is update the user schema to actually have a followers and following property. So if we go back to the user schema, so I'll open that file up, user schema.js, you'll see that we don't have anything in there yet for following and followers. So let's go ahead and add something. So right at the bottom, I'm going to put a comma after retweets, and I'll say following, like this, and it's going to be an array of users. So what I'm going to do is actually copy all of this part right here, because this is an array of posts. We'll do the same thing, but change post to user. And now we've declared that the user schema has a property called following, which is an array of users. And we'll do the same one more time underneath that for followers. So we're going to keep track of all the people that are following this user, but we're also going to keep track of all the people that this user follows. So you might be wondering why we're doing both. Surely we only need to keep one, and then if we, for example, let's say we only keep following, we don't have anything for followers. If we want to find out who's following this user instead, we just go and find all the people that have got this user in their following array. Well, we could do that, but that's going to be quite an expensive operation in terms of database queries. So we're just going to keep track of both. It'll make our lives a whole lot easier going forward, as this is much easier to work with. Okay, so I'll get rid of that last comma. We don't need that last comma there. And I'll give this a save. And that's it. We should now have a following and followers array on our user schema.